So this episode is going to be a spicy one, and I'm definitely going to watch what I say because I'm not going to out anybody. I'm not going to out any media people that I've worked with or any other people in the industry that I've worked with so far, but I feel like what I'm going to say, somebody had to say it eventually. And the fact that no one has really talked about it from the professional creative standpoint is kind of mind-blowing, but if this puts a target on my back, um somebody had to do it. Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to open their mouth and say something. So, let's get into this episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of As a Creative, the podcast focusing on empowering creatives, giving them the tools and knowledge to thrive in the industry. My name is Robin, and in this episode, we're going to be discussing what to know before you begin working as a professional creative in the industry. And this is going for regardless if you're going into corporate business or you want to go into the more fun side of working in music, media, entertainment. My experience is going to be more garnered towards my experience working in the Chicago music, entertainment, media industry, more on like the underground side, working my way up. But I feel like the advice that I'm going to be sharing and what I think my outlook is, I believe it also applies in the business corporate side of things if you want to ever go that route with working as a professional creative. I think it's the same thing, but it's dealt with in a more professional manner. I just personally feel like no one in the creative industry has actually outspokenly has said these things or warned people about these things. And I know the things I'm going to be sharing is not just a me experience, because when I talk to other creatives, especially with who are around me working in the underground scene of Chicago, they share similar experiences, and I feel like there's no one really on the creative side really speaking out about it and bringing awareness about it, but that's what we're going to be here to do today. I think that the reason why people haven't spoken up, like I'm going to be speaking up, is because they don't want a target put on their backs from bigger artists, from media outlets, from any bigger entity that has more clout, fame, followers, money. They rather just like keep their mouths shut. But I feel like for this podcast and what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to, but I feel like what I'm trying to do with this podcast and what I'm trying to do for my audience and for my listeners, I think it's only right for me to speak on my experience and, have, if the target gets put on my back, oh well. But I'm not going to be out here pointing fingers at people or media outlets that I will be speaking my experiences of. But I would say, again, this will be more of a general experience thing that I have noticed and that other creatives that I have spoken to have dealt with as well. So the advice I'm going to be sharing today is going to be realistic. At times it's going to sound pessimistic, but I feel like it is only right for my listeners who I'm trying to build up and prepare to be professional creatives. I'm also trying to inspire, to motivate, and to help elevate in the industry. If I'm going to be sharing the good side of good mentality, good mindset, good work habits to elevate you guys, I feel like it's only right for me to also prepare you guys by presenting you with the bad and just things that you should be aware of before entering into the creative field. And it's only right that I do that. So let's get started. So first off, overall, our industry is not taken that seriously. We're not out here fixing the problems of our economy. We're not out here trying to find the cure to cancer. And we're not out here putting our lives on the line to fight fires. What our craft is minimized to our skill sets. It's minimized to drawing pictures, taking photos, playing around with sound effects. And again, most of our skill sets, or most of the creative industry is looped into advertising, working in the advertising and marketing sphere. And yeah, again, most of what we do is minimized to just drawing pictures and making cool sounds and da-da-da. But as we creatives know, when we observe the outside world, there are visuals all around us. There is design all around us. When it comes to billboard advertising, packaging, even down to the toothbrush is design. It is product design. So when we look at the outside world and we recognize that visuals and design is everywhere, and especially us, like, we notice it all the time, we know that what we do actually matters. Also, we as creatives know that design and visuals play a significant role in the world and how we live our lives. And as we continue to learn about our skills, how we continue to improve our skill sets, we continue to realize and learn how important what we do is to the outside world, because no one else is going to take the time to learn design and visuals and to attract audiences, to share messages efficiently. No one else is going to take the time to learn that other than us. But unfortunately, what we do is not taken as seriously by the outside world. But in order to still stay strong and positive and powerful as a creative is to realize that what we do, it does matter. It does play a significant role. And as long as we continue to improve our skills and to elevate our craft and put our work out there, improve our skills, you will make it in the industry, and you'll continue to put up a good fight as a professional creative trying to survive in this world and in this economy. So with our industry not being taken that seriously by the outside world, there is a lot of exploitation that happens. I wouldn't say there's too much happening in the corporate business side when it comes to working as a creative in that realm, but with how big corporations are set up, when there is a economic downfall or something bad happens within the company money-wise, the first department to typically go is marketing. So that can just tell you right there how seriously we're taken as a profession when it comes to the corporate side. But when it comes to the music entertainment side, it's a little bit more apparent. And again, this is something that I have experienced working in industry myself, but not only me, talking with other creatives, it seems like it's a generalized experience that no one really wants to express out loud because they don't want to get annexed by the industry. I would say a lot of the exploitation happens at the bottom. Like, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm more at the bottom of the food chain when it comes to the creative industry. And a lot of the creatives that are at around my level in the industry right now are working for fairly cheap rates or are not getting paid at all. And again, it goes back to the outside world not taking what we do seriously. So there's another component to this when working in the music and media side. Most of the businesses and artists that you will come into contact with are small and they don't have a big budget to begin with, so you can't really charge a lot to begin with. Most of the money that they have is coming from another source of income, such as a job, a normal job, and that money is going straight into making their art, whether it be making music, making content, to promotion, to maintaining their image, going to concerts and performing. So they don't have a lot of money to dish out in the first place to pay photographers or other design people to design their album art or design merch. So that's one component of why creatives aren't getting paid that much, especially in the music and entertainment side. And I will say now, some of these artists, it may look like because of their follower count or the way they present themselves that they have the money and they have the financial stability and they got the fame, the clout. But when honestly, I've experienced so many times artists that look like they have money, they come in with the big chains or they come in with designer or whatever, and then behind the scenes they actually don't got money like that. And be aware of those people. Find out from the get-go if they're those people that present that they have money but they don't, because they will definitely front to more incoming and newer creatives, photographers, designers, and say, oh, they'll try to basically tell you that you should work for them for free because it will give you more exposure and give you a notable name just through working for them. And they will try everything they can to get something out of you and not pay you anything. I've experienced it so many times in the industry, and I'm finally at that point where I realize that there are two things important in the industry. One is exposure and getting your name out there, and two, actually getting paid. And working as a creative in the industry, you definitely have to pick your battles with that. But I will warn you now that there are artists in the industry that will use their fame, their big following, to not pay creatives that take photos of them, that do design work for them, and they get away with it. And this advice doesn't go for just artists, but also media outlets as well. I would say media outlets are also just as bad as artists in the industry when it comes to not paying people. I will say there have been multiple media outlets that have tried to get me to work for them for free, and I've had to ask if it's a paid thing, and then they put it in ambiguous terms of they are not going to pay me, and I just end that conversation right then and there. Realize that you're worth so much more than free work as soon as you can. Continue to work on your skills and promote your work and put yourself out there. And once your skills are where you want them to be and the outside world recognizes it, you will find people that will pay you. As soon as you realize it, like, don't settle for working for free. There may be a lot of pressure from big media outlets that want you to work for them, or big artists or whatever that just want their photos or whatever, and they will promise you that they will help you in the industry. But if there's no money, don't go any further. Like, please, this is from somebody who has experienced this personally. So again, there's not a lot of money when it comes to working as a professional creative from the bottom in the music entertainment sphere. And even though there's not a lot of money, people will expect a lot out of you for some reason, because people are entitled. Artists and media outlets will expect things out of you even though they didn't pay you. And at first it might feel nice, it might seem validating because people are asking for your work and you're able to get into the world and people like want your stuff, but eventually it'll click in your head that you're not getting paid for it. So let me explain when it is good to take on free gigs and when it's not good to take on free gigs. For example, if you get media access to a large music film festival in the area, it's a huge, significant thing, take it, because that will mean something on a resume. And typically media access goes to media outlets, radio stations first, like big media outlets and radio stations. Those will typically go to them first. So if you happen to get media access to a festival, a large concert, or any large event in the area, take it. Also, I should specify that this bit of advice is more towards camera people in the industry, but it also could go towards, I know journalists pop out to events and do write-ups and stuff like that, so I guess this applies to them as well. But if it's gigs that the event or the artists, they have less than 10K, If they reach out to you asking you to show up and work for them and do your thing, take it the first time. Use this opportunity to add to your portfolio. Use it as a way to master your skills and to establish that you are good at what you do. And take it the first time. And if they ask you to come back again for another event, or they want you to do another thing for them and they then don't pay you, then don't do it. Only do it for free once, and the next time they ask you to come out to do an event for them the second time and they don't want to pay you, don't do it. That has been the short, sweet, simple answer that I've come to while working in the industry so far as a creative. And again, as my experience working as a video camera photographer person in the media industry. I would say now, with me only being in the industry for less than a year, it will be a year in May, but just now I'm starting to find wrestlers. I do wrestling matches. I film and shoot wrestling matches, but just now I'm finding wrestlers that will pay me to take photos of them. I have one girl that I charge a fee for, and I take photos of her. And if other wrestlers at that event want me to send them their photos or whatever, and they see me taking photos or whatever, I put my foot down now and say that if they want their photos, they have to pay me. So again, once you find where the money's at, put your foot down. Once you start getting paid, put your foot down, because you don't want to go backwards. You only want to go forwards. Once you establish that people will pay you for something, stick with those people, and start shutting out the people that won't pay for you. So another thing to be aware of while working in the creative industry is that bigger cities are going to have a larger population of creatives, meaning New York, LA, Chicago, Houston. There is going to be a larger population of creatives because the entertainment industry is bigger there, meaning that the exploitation is even worse, because if you're not willing to do something free for an artist or for a media outlet, they will find somebody who will do it for free, because that person just wants the fame, they want the exposure, they want the instant gratification of doing something for a big media outlet, regardless if they get paid or not. And unfortunately, those people don't help the big cause of other creatives who want to be taken seriously, that want to get paid for what they do, and do be treated right. And as long as we have those people that will do things for free and don't care if they get paid or not, and only want the fame, and they are not good representations of the creative community, and they are letting artists, personalities, media outlets get away with not paying creatives. They're letting artists and media outlets, all of them, not be held accountable. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true. As a creative community, collectively, I think that we all need to put our foot down to working for free and giving our work away for free, and making sure that artists, labels, media outlets pay people for what they do, pay creatives for what they make, what they put out, their photography, their video work. But unfortunately, as long as we have these people that will do it for free, they will continue, those people specifically will be pulling down the rest of the creative community. It's unfortunate because those people only care about the instant recognition and the fame and just going viral. But we'll end there on that one. So I would say that only 5% of the creative community is actually making a living off of what they do. With that being said, when starting off as a creative working in the industry, start off with another source of income, another stable source of income, such as working a 9-to-5, may even be working in fast food, in the restaurant industry, in retail, even working at McDonald's. Have that job, have that stable income, whatever it may be, to start off. Then once you have that, to be able to put a roof over your head and to be able to support yourself, find little ways that you can have some of that income poured a little bit into your craft, into your hobby. So it may seem like I don't know what I'm talking about when I say to even rely on a bottom of the barrel job such as McDonald's, but I believe that if there is a will, there is a way. There is a way to be strategic with your time, your effort, and your money that you're able to eventually transition into not having to rely on that scummy job, and that you can have eventually your passions, your creativity, your hobbies eventually become your living. You have to be intentional, you have to be persistent. And again, I give you all the tips on how to have a strong work ethic, to have confidence in yourself, how to improve yourself as a creative. I have those in my last couple of episodes, but you may not realize it now, but you will be in a different place 2 years from now if you just continue to stay intentional, persistent, you stick with it, you focus on improving your skills, putting yourself out there, strengthening your confidence in yourself and in your abilities. And we all know there are plenty success stories out there of people starting from the bottom with low, scummy jobs and finding a way to make it work and live off of their creative passions and living off of what they really want to do. Again, it's possible. You just have to stay persistent and be strategic and intentional. So once you improve your skills and you have implemented the tools and advice that I've shared in the last couple episodes, once you improve your skills and you know that your work is where you want it to be and the rest of the world recognizes that your work is good, start putting together a price list of everything that you do and have that ready to go. So the second someone asks you what you charge for a certain thing, to charge for design work, for shooting photos, for a photo shoot, for video work, for production, you have that ready to go to send to them. So if you have a hard time determining prices, I definitely did for a while, especially when it came to my design work. It was definitely due to insecurity and knowing that the outside world doesn't really take what we do seriously. If you are having issues with that, guilty confession, use ChatGPT, because if it's able to give you an objective price range based off of scraping the internet for that information, you should not have any guilty feelings or any insecurities asking clients to charge you that amount, straight up. And that is how I have put my foot down with what I charge clients. I have used ChatGPT. It helps me out a lot. So last bit of advice: don't expect handouts without the chance of exploitation. There have been plenty of times where I've been offered to do an event, to do design work for a big thing, and then all of a sudden that person asks for a little bit of a cut from it. If there's any, when it comes to even getting, just not only getting paid, but also just recognition for it. And I will say, I definitely think I'm a person that is for the people. I've been mentored by people that are for the people, and when I believe someone deserves recognition, I will do that out of my good heart. And it's not genuine if someone demands it out of you. And so at this point, when I get offered to do something, when I get offered to do a big gig or design work for some major person, I always have a sense in the back of my head, this person may want something out of me or out of this. So just something to note to keep in the back of your head. So knowing that that is a possibility when I network and connect with other creatives and artists, or events reach out to me to want to do something for them, having that noted in the back of my head, I've personally gone to the conclusion that it's just better to build your own way and not expect people to hand things out to you. There will be times in the industry where it feels like all doors are closed and that no one's handing you out or giving you a chance. And my conclusion, especially now during my job search, and it feels like, especially in this economy, that no one is willing to take a chance on new creatives coming into the industry, not even in the music industry, but also in the corporate world, when you get doubtful and it feels like all heads are turned away from you, build your own way, create your own way, pave your own way forward. I want to put this into the heads of other creative professionals, instill this into my audience, that we are creatives, and we not only do we have our creative abilities, but we also have the ability to create the life that we want and to make our own way. And that is the fun and fascination of being a creative. So if you like this episode, make sure you go like it on YouTube, go rate me on Spotify, and go follow the Instagram at as.acreative. If you're interested in me and what I do, what I be up to, follow me at ROOBIOS at Rubios. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.